the Ghana Chamber of Mines. Engineer, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. For purposes of education, tell us more about this Minerals and Mining Royalty Regulation 2025, which I believe your chamber had a role to play in this formulation.
Well, I'm not too sure you would say we had a role to play. When the proposed LI was being slated, we got an opportunity of meeting the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. And so we pointed out that the sliding scale in itself is a good thing. To say that government and the people of Ghana should benefit a lot more from the gold resources that we're endowed with when the price of gold increases is good. And then when the price comes down, we can then reduce it. It's a good thing to happen. The challenge we had was the scale that had been put, 5 to 12%, which then meant that we were actually sliding only upwards. We're not sliding downwards. So we had made a proposal then when we met the minister of a 4 to 6. So we'll slide downwards to 4, and then when the price gets up, we end at 6. And then we added an additional 2% that would be taken off net profit. It is important to note that Ghana, our royalties is taken off the gross revenue. It's taken off your gross revenue. So once you start producing, whether you are making profit at that point or you are making losses, you have to pay that. And so we had pointed out that when you fix your sliding scale at virtually 12%, because that's what with the prices of gold at 5,000, and that's what you are going to be asking to be paid. The impact that is going to happen on investment, and we should bear in mind, this is not just foreign investment, but even local investments as well. The impact on projects, currently, what you would be expecting is that when the price of gold is going up, this is the time where all bodies that are low grade, you bring them into your processing plant because now you have some room to be able to work. But if you don't do that, then what? And you increase your royalties to that level. What then happens is that you don't become competitive. And when that happens, as the chairperson of the Subsidiary Legislative Committee said, when we met their committee, we mentioned it to them. What is going to happen is that projects that are needed, currently there's a mine that has only about 3 years left on its life of mine, and it needs to extend its life of mine. It would need about $170 million to be able to do that. That investment, if they are going to model it at a royalty rate of 12%, from 5 to 12% plus, the Minister of Finance had promised that he was going to take the growth and sustainability levy 2% off. Even if he took that 2% off, you are left with 1% that translates to about 1.46% of royalty. So that 13.46% royalty, you will not be as competitive. Just across the street to Cote d'Ivoire, to Guinea, they are going to be competitive. So the point we had made to government before this LI went to Parliament and to the Subsidiary Legislative Committee when we met them, to the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources when we've met them, and the paper that we have submitted to government, all of that points out to the fact that if you go on the trajectory we're going to, what is going to happen is that we're going to sacrifice, sustainable income into the future because the investments that are required today to be able to extend the life of mine, investments that are needed for new projects that are coming up. Let's bear in mind, Azuma, for example, is a local company going out there to go and look for funding. The cost, this added cost, your royalty of 12 or 13.46% is going to be factored into the investment that you're going to look for. And so that is going to impact upon our tomorrow. And the interesting thing, when the Minister of Finance went into Parliament to go and talk about the gold reserve project, he lamented that the previous government had taken decisions that had impacted on revenues into the oil and gas sector, which was resulting in the challenges we're seeing in the oil and gas sector. This current LI, if we leave it the way it is, would have the same impact. So, in as much as the law, the LI is maturing, we believe that we'll continue to engage with government. So apart from our paper that we've done, we also engaged an independent entity, Ernst & Young, who had done some work, similar work in Côte d'Ivoire, to also do some review and then give us an independent position. And their position they came to, supports the point we make. So we've shared that with also the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. We are hoping that we'll get an opportunity to sit around the table with the technocrats from the two ministries to be able to get a sweet spot so that Ghana would benefit from the increased price of gold as we speak today and also into the future.
Not to bring you to the politics of the MPP and the NDC, or the minority and the majority, Patrick Boama is of the view that if this is allowed to go as it is now, there may be job losses. Close to over 1 million people within the sector may lose their job. And from where you sit as a chamber, this will be a big blow to the operations of these companies.
Well, again, this is a point we made to the subsidiary legislative committee where we met them. This is a point we made to, again, as I said, to the Minister for Land and with Minister of Finance as well. So for me, it is neither about what the situation is. The thing about it is that no mining company is going to leave Ghana today.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear, engineer.
So I'm saying that no mining company.
I can't hear you again.
Hello, can you hear me?
It's better now.
Okay, so I'm saying that no mining are short because royalties have gone to 12%. But what is going to happen is that the investments are required, to be able to extend life of mine.
Hello? Yeah, I'm afraid the telephone line is dodgy at the moment and we can hardly hear you. But the point is the point is well made. I'm afraid, and I'm sorry, we can't hear you any further. Thank you very much, Duo, for your time. Engineer Kenneth Ashigbey is the CEO